Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen to the Chupacabra tutorials channel. I'm your host Larry, and today I'm going to show you how to install, uninstall, and all those good things, your various games on the Blizzard launcher. So if you look here at the top, once you've got everything logged in, these are the different games that are the primary games for Blizzard. And if you find one that you want to install, like let's say I want to install Heroes of the Storm, then I can just click the big blue button and start the process. Now, if you don't see the game that you want in this little roster of games up here, maybe it's a new game you just got and it's not showing up, you can find it here in this little plus symbol, and you can add one of these as another game to your little tabs at the top that you can then click on in order to play it. But I've already got the ones that I've played in the past here at the top, so I'm just going to go from there. So from here, let's say I want to install Heroes of the Storm. I can click this little pull-down menu, and if I wanted to, for whatever reason, get a hold of the public test realm and beta test a cool new patch that's coming out, I could click on this, and instead of installing the latest, stable build, I can join the public test server and download the latest test version of the game. But instead, I'm just going to go play the regular version of Heroes of the Storm. I can even select what region I'd like to play it in, America, Europe, or Asia, but I'll be in the Americas. And then I'll click on the installation button. Now, your installation here at the top has a default location that is controlled by your launcher settings. Under downloads here at the top, it'll tell you the default location where it wants to change and put all of your new games that you're going to download and install. So if you want to change that so you don't have to do it individually every single time you go to install a game, you can do that here. Otherwise, you can also just change it right here by clicking on Change Folder to change the location that it will be installed. You can also change what language you want it to be installed with, and it'll tell you that you're going to need about 15 gigs worth of space in order to install the game. And I do appreciate when installers tell you how much space this is going to take up. Because even when you have terabytes worth of space, there's lots of games in the world, and not all of them are very good about how they handle their space management. Now that I've started installing it, you'll see that the installation progress is down here at the bottom, and it'll tell you the speed at which you're downloading. I'm currently downloading at about 9 megabits, 11 megabits per second. It's going up even higher, and that won't take me very long at all. And at any time, I can click on pause the download right here, or I can go to the download manager in the upper corner here, and I can pause them individually if I had more than one going, or I could pause them all at once by clicking pause all. This gives me some more data about what's going on with the installation, along with the estimated time for this to be done downloading and installed. And then I can also click on this gear to again look at my download settings, where I can do things like, let's say I work during the day, but I also want to download the games so that I can play them when I'm done. I can set up download limits so it's not lagging me on my connection when I'm trying to work on other things. Same thing for setting up automatic updates when it wants to look for game updates, and along with what it wants to do when you ask it to install for creating icons on your desktop. All that's in here. And that's really, for the most part, it for information on installing the game. Now let's go ahead and say that you've already got a game installed, like Overwatch, and maybe you're having some trouble with it. If you're having trouble with it, you can click on the Scan and Repair button, which is once you click on an installed game, you can just click play to play the game, or you can hit this gear to modify it. This is where you'd go to uninstall it, which I'll show you how that works in a second here. You can modify the installation, which would just change how some of the default setup stuff, like the language that you use. And then you can also check for updates manually to make sure that it's completely up to date, in case you know an update came out today, but for whatever reason it's not downloading and you want to be sure nothing's broken. If something is broken or you suspect it might be broken, you can scan and repair the game to make sure all of the files are working correctly. You can create a desktop shortcut. You can show in the Explorer where this is installed. You can see the initial game settings for this game, like where it's currently installed here. You can reset the in-game options to default if you're having trouble getting it to open properly. And by that I mean, like, maybe you normally play in windowed mode, but now it's in a weird resolution that causes the game to crash when you load into it. For whatever reason, you can reset game options here. And otherwise, you can hit play or you can uninstall the game. And uninstalling is, are you sure you want to uninstall? And I'll be like, yes, I do want to uninstall. And then it'll take a few minutes sometimes. Mine was instantaneous, and all of the Overwatch 2 files are now gone and off of my computer, and I just saved a fair bit of space. And it's really that easy to install or uninstall games and check on their status through the Blizzard launcher. When I can still see right here where Heroes of the Storm is going and what it's doing, and I'm able to do other things while I wait. So anyway, I hope you found that helpful. I've been your host, Larry. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody, and have a good one.